let's talk about supplements to improve sex drive or libido. That's a problem a lot of guys are always looking into. Their erections are good, but they still suffer loss of libido. So are there any supplements worth to try?
This is the TRT and Hormone Optimization YouTube channel. And if you want to learn all about the science-based information on this topic, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and you'll be on your way.
Libido is a very complex issue. Everyone always looks at testosterone first and foremost, and they like to put a finger on one aspect. Libido is a fairly complex, array of the moon and stars lining up on a specific day. So you have to, first and foremost, look at the things. Once you've optimized, right, you're saying erections are good, we're going to assume TRT and or potentially, natural levels of T, all of the things that are on the surface that people know about as far as improving libido have already been addressed. And now the libido is still not there, or it's insufficient. When I say insufficient, let's be clear. A lot of guys get greedy and they think that if they're not in the mood for sex 4 times a day, their libido is suffering. Let's be realistic. If you have sexual thoughts or desires every single day, but not as often as you'd like, take it and run with it. Don't try to fix things that aren't broken. Now, if you're one of those guys that truly has poor libido, where you can go a week or 2 or 3 or a month, and you literally would rather watch paint dry than think about anything of sexual nature, and it is affecting your relationship and or partner, then obviously this needs to be addressed. So just to clarify what poor libido means, okay, because I do find a lot of men are extremely greedy when it comes to it once they are optimized. With that said, let's not look at ways to improve what has already been improved. Let's look at ways to pull away the things that are possibly depleting or inhibiting your libido, because that's often the real cause for the loss. It's not what can I do to make it better, it's what can I do to stop making it worse. Because right now, for starters, I could tell you the whole coronavirus epidemic is not the best aphrodisiac there is. Being quarantined in the house, not being able to go to dinner, not being able to go to the gym, not being able to shake someone's hand or have a conversation without a mask on is not exactly going to put people in the best of moods. So for starters, put things in perspective and understand your environment, because we have had a lot of calls, and I know we spoke to a couple providers as well who've had a lot of calls from guys on T into their clinic saying, my libido's decreased over the last 3 months. And I say, really? What else has been going on for the last 3 months? Can you put a finger on anything? And guys are scratching their head. No, why? Well, duh. I mean, look at what's going on in the world, right? So for starters, think of your environment. Where am I going with this? Stress. Guys, stress. Stress is the biggest libido killer out there, period, end of story. If you're stressed, if you're in that fight or flight environment and your brain is screaming for help because you feel like the world is collapsing on you, whether it's home-related, work-related, financial, whatever the case may be, if you're constantly and chronically stressed, okay, you're always going to be releasing cortisol and epinephrine and norepinephrine and vasodilation, vasoconstriction, elevated blood pressure. You're going to be in a state of survival, not thinking about procreation, because procreation is the natural instinct that creates a desire for sexual activity. So at the end of the day, think about reducing stress in your life. I don't want to sound cliche, but whatever it takes, yoga, meditation, I don't know, whatever does it for you, right? You need to go have a drink. I'm not suggesting alcohol for that. I'm just saying whatever you need to de-stress, relax and breathe and put things in perspective. And once you start to relax and be more calm, your libido should probably improve. Hydration is another big one. All right, nothing functions well in your body when you're dehydrated. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Sleep, cannot stress enough. When you're sleep deprived, the last thing your body cares about is how you feel. It is, again, going into survival mode. So make sure your sleep is proper. It's not how many hours I'm laying in bed. It's how many hours my eyes are closed and I am relaxed and recovering, breathing well. If you got sleep apnea and you're not saturating oxygen, you're going to be fatigued and tired and irritable. Make sure that if you have obstructive sleep apnea, it does not go unchecked, undiagnosed, untreated. And even if it is treated, make sure you're using your CPAP. All of these things combined, they're things that are common. I'm not trying to divert from the issue here. I'm talking about things that I see every single day in our clinic, which is a men's sexual health clinic. And outside of erectile dysfunction and hormone issues, the biggest thing that we come across with patients is libido issues. And this is no longer just men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We're getting guys in their 20s saying, I I don't know what happened. It's not on my mind, and I want to fix it, but I don't know how.
Before we continue, if you appreciate the content we bring to this channel, check out the Amazon links in the description of this video. These are the links to the products we use, going from supplements, protein powder, pre, post, intra-workout, anti-aging cream, sunscreen, needles and syringes to inject, and so on. If you'd like to purchase one of those products, please use the direct link so that it will earn us a few cents as a tip, and you'll be guided directly to the products we recommend. Thanks in advance.
Stress, guys, okay? Get rid of the stress, improve your sleep. Get in the gym, start training. Improve your blood flow. Understand your self-image is a tremendous libido booster or killer. If you don't like what you see in the mirror when you step out of that shower, you're going to assume that no one else is going to like what they see. And that is going to make you self-conscious. It's going to destroy your ego and your self-image. And when you have a poor self-image, you try to avoid situations that force you to put your body in a position of someone else judging it. So improve the way you look, improve your mindset, improve the way you feel about yourself. And if you like what you see and you love yourself, other people are going to notice that, and it's going to make you more attractive, and therefore it's going to boost your self-esteem and make you want to be out there more. So there's all these factors that, while individually have a small effect, cumulatively they have a compounded effect, and they're going to literally make a difference. Baby steps put together make for leaps and bounds. If you remember what Armstrong said when he stepped on the moon, right? One small step for man, one giant step for mankind. Well, we don't take giant steps as a man. We take giant steps as mankind when each man does their share. Do little baby steps for yourself, and at the end of the day, it's going to lead to a giant step. You got to put it all together. You can't leave anything off. If you do it all, you're essentially going to improve the quality of your life. With that said, supplements that can help, yes, there are peptides. PT141, recently approved by the FDA as little as 6 months ago. There are some side effects, and I won't go into it. You can read on it. This was essentially used as a self-tanner. This stimulates the melanocytes in the base layer of the skin to produce more melanin, which essentially is a pigment. So it's essentially a self-tanner, which is a subcutaneous injection, where they found that people that took it, specifically women, but it works on men too, initially experienced very mild nausea for a period of an hour or so, and then about 3 to 4 hours later, it kicked in and their libido went through the roof. So it was actually now approved by the FDA as a libido boosting medication. So it's got various different names, but PT141, if you want to Google it, is a peptide that is essentially a libido booster. It's used on an as-needed basis. I know ashwagandha has always been touted as like an Indian root, an herbal root that is got good calming effects on stress relief and inhibiting cortisol, and also possibly improving libido. And if you're already on T, I'm not even going to get into the whole SHBG lowering, boron and stinging nettle and horny goat wheat and all that stuff. I don't put a lot of stock into that stuff. It's a marginal difference. I'm going to assume guys have already optimized their hormones, and now we're just getting into what can we take off the table to try to improve things. So I think if you literally look, and I hate to oversimplify, but sometimes really people make it too complex. If you take a look at the stuff I just mentioned, get into your head, remove stress, improve sleep, and improve your body image to yourself, I think your libido is going to thank you for it. So give that a shot and see how it goes.
Yeah, great advice, I guess. Yeah. Thanks, Gil.
My pleasure.
Hey, and now do this next. Click on one of these thumbnails to learn a ton more about TRT and hormone optimization.